This video is brought to you by Jobber, but more on them later.
Just got back from an exterior project and I had this idea in my head and I don't think there's been a video made about it. Well, two things actually. I'm gonna go over them in this video. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, but number one is on-site arrival. What is, when you show up to an estimate, like let's say Joseph Smith signed up for an estimate and you show up at Joseph Smith's house for the estimate. You go, you knock on the door. What's the first thing that you say once he opens the door? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to know, because for me, what I like to do is I say, hello, how are you doing today? Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And they'll tell me, oh, my name's Joseph. Oh, do you mind if I call you Joseph? Actually, you know what? My friends and family call me Joe. Why don't you call me Joe? Hey, Joe, nice to meet you. My name's Tim. I'm with Tim O Paints. I'm here to give you an estimate, and it looks like you called us out here because you're interested in getting your house painted and protected. See how I just didn't say painted, I said protected. Let's face it, not everybody paints just to change the color of their house. The real reason for painting is for protection. So right away I established, hey, I'm a professional. I'm here to conduct myself in a professional manner. And he says, oh yeah, hey man, nice to meet you, Tim. Yeah, I called you guys out here because I got XYZ issues. You can see here, here, and here. And from there on, I start providing solutions. I try to get to know them as best as I can. One of my first questions that I like to ask is, oh, have you lived in the area very long? Because if the answer is yes, I typically work close to home, so it's already, we established a commonality between the two. We both live in the area. What high school did you go to? Oh yeah, Mrs. Watts, she was the word, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, because it really helps build repertoire. And I know it all sounds really silly. Those are two things that I like to do, is ask where they're from right out the gate. And then when I knock on the door and they open the door, the first thing I like to say is, hey, how you doing? Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Because I don't want to assume who it is, because it could be Joseph's son, William, who answers the door. And if you say, hey, are you Joseph? He's like, oh, no, actually, that's my dad, blah, blah, blah. It gets real clunky. You don't want a clunky estimate. You want a smooth estimate. You want everything to flow real smooth. So number two, this is at the end of the estimate. At the end of the estimate, after you're about to walk away, I use the software to get my estimates, and I make sure that I give them to them on site. I upload all the pictures to the estimate. I get it all itemized out, and then I present the estimate to them on site. Now, I always try to get somebody to say yes or just flat out no before I leave, right? I don't want to say, hey, I'll get you the estimate tonight, let me get back to the office, because really the conversion rates are low in that style of dropping off estimates. So I like to present the estimate to the customer, and I always give three options, right? So that way price is rarely one of the reasons why they don't want to hire us, because usually I'll give them an option that's close to what the other guys are charging, but it has more value every time. So I'll say, hey, what do you think? And they say, oh, this option looks pretty good. I'd really like to go with it. So I'd say, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to go with us today to sign the contract and get this moving forward? If they say, I'm at a 7, dude, I love it, because you say, hey, let's talk. Let's see if we can maybe hit those other 3 points and maybe an extra one. That way we can get you to 11 on making sure to sign with us, because we're here to serve, we're here to provide as much value as possible. And on top of that, you just want to stand out. I guarantee you no one else is asking them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to close today, let alone getting that estimate out the same day. And that's why I like the software that I use to get my estimates together, and it's Jobber. I use Jobber to dispatch my helpers. I use Jobber to route for solar panel cleaning. I have to route out all my jobs so I can save gas. It's amazing. I track all my expenses. Favorite feature, and I say this all the time, is the price book. I go in, I can pre-program all my standard pricing. Instead of having to type out the same thing over and over again, sand the baseboards, prep the baseboards, install and caulk. Instead of doing that, I just click a button. It all pre-populates. It's amazing. The little picture. I love it. I love it. I'm ranting. So if you guys are interested in something like that for your business, check out the top link in the description. You'll get a special offer if you use my link. I'll put it in the pinned comment as well. So guys, in the comments, put no way in the comments if you're still watching. And then if you do own a small business, let me know what's the first thing you say once you knock on the door and old Joseph opens up the door. But is it really Joseph? Let's see. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Man, I probably gotta fix this. This is weird that this is so goofy like that. All right. Oh, what the? That was a fail. Whoa. Okay.